Stanley steamer provided William McKinley with his very first experience traveling in a motor vehicle in late 1899. Driven through public streets by company founder Francis Edgar Stanley, this smooth open steam carriage marked a monumental turning point in transitioning American presidential transportation from horsepower to automobiles. White steamer Model M entered government service in 1909 after William Howard Taft converted the White House stables into an executive garage. Taft favored this luxurious steam-powered vehicle above all others, frequently telling his personal chauffeur to unleash sudden bursts of undercarriage steam to disperse aggressive reporters. Baker Electric was acquired by William Howard Taft in 1909 to serve as a clean, quiet suburban transport for First Lady Helen Taft. Eliminating hand cranks, hot engine exhaust, and oily grease, this battery-powered runabout became an instant favorite for easy travel across the paved streets of Washington District of Columbia. Pierce Arrow Model 36 joined the newly established Executive Motor Pool in 1909 during the administration of William Howard Taft. Outfitted with an elegant enclosed body and plush appointments, it initiated a long-standing government tradition of selecting prestige Pierce Arrow automobiles for formal diplomatic arrivals. Pierce Arrow Model 48 served as the principal state car for Woodrow Wilson throughout his turbulent 2 terms in office. Wilson grew so deeply attached to the refined luxury of this 6-cylinder limousine that devoted personal friends bought the retired vehicle directly from the government to present to him as a retirement gift. Pierce Arrow Series 51 carried Woodrow Wilson through Washington in 1919, following his triumphant return from Europe after negotiating the Treaty of Versailles. Custom painted and emblazoned with executive seals, the stately limousine projected American prestige during high-profile parade routes and official ceremonies. Pierce Arrow Model A466 represented the largest motor vehicles acquired during the administration of Woodrow Wilson in 1916. Featuring massive high-horsepower engines and open touring bodies, these wide-track automobiles transported visiting international leaders, cabinet officers, and armed Secret Service protective details. Milburn Light Electric was utilized by Woodrow Wilson and First Lady Edith Wilson starting in 1918 for quiet daily travel around Washington. Equipped with an enclosed glass cabin, it functioned as an efficient personal runabout for small errands, offering peaceful mobility throughout the stressful years of World War I. Packard Twin 6 made presidential history in 1921, when Warren Gamaliel Harding rode inside it to his inauguration. Marking the first time an incoming chief executive traveled to the swearing-in ceremony in a motor vehicle, this 12-cylinder automobile permanently replaced horse-drawn carriages for inaugural events. Pierce Arrow's 7-passenger limousine was secured by Calvin Coolidge in 1921 through a cost-effective corporate leasing arrangement. Reflecting his famous personal frugality, Coolidge utilized this spacious closed-body automobile for daily commutes to executive offices, avoiding unnecessary government spending on fleet upgrades. Lincoln Model L joined the executive garage in 1924 under Calvin Coolidge, breaking long-held purchasing traditions. Serving as the very first Lincoln automobile brought into official White House service, it established an enduring partnership between the Ford Motor Company's flagship brand and presidential transportation. Cadillac Series 341 V8 was pressed into emergency service for Franklin Delano Roosevelt immediately following the attack on Pearl Harbor in December 1941. Originally impounded from gangster Al Capone, this heavily armored sedan provided instant bulletproof security while purpose-built presidential cars were being prepped. Cadillac 452 BV16 Imperial Fleetwood was chosen by Herbert Hoover in 1932 to serve as his flagship state car. Powered by a massive 16-cylinder engine beneath custom coachwork, the imposing luxury limousine was designed to project national resilience and industrial strength during the depths of the Great Depression. Ford V8 Phaeton was customized for Franklin Delano Roosevelt with specialized mechanical hand controls so he could drive independently despite his paralysis. Roosevelt regularly drove this open-top automobile around his Warm Springs estate and Hyde Park home, enjoying complete personal freedom away from Secret Service security details. Cadillac Series 90 V16 comprised a famous pair of 1938 convertibles nicknamed Queen Mary and Queen Elizabeth. Operating as heavy escort vehicles for Franklin Delano Roosevelt and Harry Truman, these oversized 16-cylinder cars carried armed Secret Service agents, heavy weapons, and specialized communication equipment. Packard 12 provided Franklin Delano Roosevelt with secure mobile transport throughout the intense build-up to World War II. Combining robust mechanical power with discreet protective plating, this armored 1939 convertible carried the president safely between crucial political summits and strategic military inspections. Lincoln K-Series entered service in 1939 as the historic Sunshine Special, the first vehicle engineered strictly to Secret Service specifications. Modified after Pearl Harbor with heavy armor and bulletproof glass, it served Franklin Delano Roosevelt and Harry Truman as a formidable mobile fortress for over a decade. Lincoln Custom entered the presidential fleet in 1942 to provide Franklin Delano Roosevelt and Harry Truman with protected ground transport. Built on an extended wheelbase with thick steel body panels, this heavy limousine safely moved world leaders between secret military conferences, railway terminals, and naval shipyards. Lincoln Cosmopolitan fleet cars were leased under Harry Truman in 1950, solidifying Lincoln as the primary executive vehicle supplier. Dwight Eisenhower later added a clear acrylic dome section over the main convertible, creating the iconic Bubbletop that protected him from rain while keeping him visible to parade crowds. Cadillac Eldorado took center stage during the 1953 inaugural parade of Dwight Eisenhower. Featuring an early wraparound windshield and distinctive rear tail fins, this striking white convertible highlighted modern post-war automotive styling and generated massive public excitement for General Motors' flagship vehicles. Cadillac Series 75 limousine was added to the White House fleet in 1953 to handle daily executive transport for Dwight Eisenhower. Equipped with raised rooflines, division glass, and heavy-duty air conditioning, it provided reliable service for visiting foreign heads of state and senior executive staff throughout his presidency. Lincoln Continental SS100X served as the custom open-top parade car for John Fitzgerald Kennedy starting in 1961. Following his tragic assassination inside the vehicle in Dallas, engineers completely rebuilt it under Operation Quick Fix, adding permanent armor, bulletproof glass, and a dark black hardtop for future use. Lincoln Continental entered service under Lyndon Baines Johnson in 1965, featuring reinforced steel bodywork and updated styling. Designed with an oversized rear passenger compartment and enhanced radio systems, it offered exceptional security and high-speed performance during intense diplomatic schedules across the nation. Lincoln Continental was delivered to the White House in 1967, featuring a thick transparent roof panel for public visibility. Utilized extensively by Lyndon Baines Johnson and Richard Nixon, this heavy armored limousine traveled across 32 foreign nations to support major Cold War summits and diplomatic state visits. Lincoln Continental was introduced in 1969 for Richard Nixon, featuring a higher roofline and exterior handrails for standing Secret Service agents. The custom limousine saw extensive international service, carrying executive leaders through historic diplomatic visits to Europe, Asia, and official ceremonies in Washington. Lincoln Continental entered service in 1972 and served Gerald Ford, Jimmy Carter, and Ronald Reagan. Most notably, this massive armored limousine rushed a critically wounded Ronald Reagan to the hospital following the 1981 assassination attempt outside a Washington hotel, saving the chief executive's life. Cadillac Fleetwood Brougham debuted in 1983 under Ronald Reagan, engineered by coach builders Hess and Eisenhardt. Featuring an elevated roofline and advanced ballistic protection, this imposing black limousine marked Cadillac's triumphant return as the primary builder of official state vehicles for the federal government. Lincoln Town Car was delivered to George Herbert Walker Bush in 1989, outfitted with advanced satellite communications and run-flat tires. Heavy armor required a massive truck engine for propulsion, and this impressive vehicle ultimately marked the final Lincoln model used as a primary presidential state car in history. Cadillac Fleetwood entered service in 1993 under Bill Clinton, featuring a custom chassis engineered to withstand chemical attacks. Built with state-of-the-art secure communication systems and heavy armor plating, it launched a new era of presidential vehicles constructed purely for executive defense from the ground up. Cadillac DeVille debuted in 2001 for George Walker Bush, built on a heavy-duty commercial truck frame hidden beneath luxury sedan bodywork. Outfitted with thick ballistic glass, internal oxygen supplies, and run-flat tires, it provided maximum security during heightened national threats following September 11. Cadillac DTS was introduced in 2005 to provide George Walker Bush with advanced defensive capabilities and thick armor plating. Designed to withstand severe explosive impacts while maintaining full mobility, this fortified vehicle set unprecedented engineering standards for executive protection during international summit travel. Cadillac One entered service in 2009 under Barack Obama, earning the famous nickname, the Beast. Constructed on a heavy commercial truck chassis with 5-inch bulletproof glass and complete environmental sealing, this mobile Oval Office carried emergency blood supplies and encrypted satellite systems everywhere it traveled. Cadillac One received an updated iteration in 2018, serving both Donald Trump and Joe Biden across domestic and global events. Built with 8-inch thick armored doors, night vision optics, and advanced threat countermeasures, this heavily fortified platform provided unmatched protection during major diplomatic summits worldwide. Cadillac Escalade expanded the executive fleet in 2026 under Donald Trump, equipped with the heavy-duty camp package. Featuring elevated rooflines and high-level ballistic defense systems, this massive armored sport utility vehicle provided versatile mobility and high-capacity transport during international state appearances.